But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you, with meekness and fear. Today we will be taking a look at the word meek as it occurs in 1 Peter 3:15. What is meekness, and how is it accomplished? In 1 Peter 3:15, the word meek is translated from the Greek word prautes, which can be traced back to the Hebrew word ainah, which means gentle. Ainah is a child root word, and in order to understand its most basic meaning, we must meet its parent, which is the word ayin. Ayin is defined by the verb watch, the concrete noun eye, and the abstract concept affliction. Looking at the pictographs, we see the ayin, which is a picture of an eye and represents the actions to see, to watch, or to take in, as well as the abstract concept of knowledge. The second letter, nun, is a picture of a seed and represents the actions to continue, to carry on, as well as the abstract concept of life. In combination, the first two pictographs indicate watch constantly, and they also can just as easily indicate constantly watched, to take in the seed, knowledge of life, and take in the ability to continue life. This may seem confusing at first and prompt you to say, make up your mind, which one is it? Most of us who have grown up in the Western Greco-Roman world have inherited a linear way of thinking which requires us to choose whether one statement or another is exclusively true. Hebrew thought doesn't work that way. The Hebrews practiced block logic, which means that all considerations work together to demonstrate a collective truth. We must come to understand how this works if we want to learn to understand the Bible in its original cultural context. Let's open our minds to considering how these seemingly different statements are related. Let's begin by remembering that the ancient Hebrews were nomadic shepherds. Sheep and goats were a huge part of their life, and consequently, the Bible is full of analogies built around the concepts of sheep and shepherds. Our first two pictographic statements, watch constantly and constantly watched, are seen in a shepherd's job, which is to domesticate sheep, to bring them under control in order to protect them, feed them, and encourage them to multiply. All of this is accomplished by the shepherd watching them constantly, to ensure that their needs are met. The shepherd makes the sheep meek by watching over them, and conversely, the sheep are meek because they constantly watch the shepherd and heed his direction. But how does our third pictographic statement, to take in the seed, fit into the analogy of the sheep and shepherd? Well, we must start by understanding that seeds are actually little bits of information. Every seed carries within it all the information it needs in order to duplicate the plant which it came from. So in our analogy, the shepherd possesses information, in other words, seeds, which he gathers on his constant watch and transmits to the sheep through his guidance. Follow me, I'll lead you to food. Avoid those rocks, there are snakes in there. Rest over here, where I can keep an eye on you. The sheep that is meek is the one who takes in these seeds of information and grows them, or in other words, it hears and obeys. In doing this, they actually demonstrate to us our fourth and fifth pictographic statements. For in listening to the direction of the shepherd, the sheep gain the knowledge of life. They actually take in the ability to continue living. If we are to accomplish this meekness, we must watch ourselves, we must watch each other, and we must watch our shepherd. We must take in the seeds of knowledge that he transmits to us through his word and deed to ensure that we stay sheltered, fed, and do not perish, but continue to live. Ultimately, we must be mindful that we are under his care and submit to his guidance, recognizing that he is watching over us constantly. In the words of our shepherd, who is the way, the truth, and the life, what I say unto you, I say unto all. Watch. Mark 13:37. Thanks for watching.